Today we're going to continue on talking about polygons on a coordinate plane. So we're still going to use area and then a little bit more with perimeter. So first thing we're going to talk about is finding the perimeter of a figure on a coordinate plane. Remember, perimeter is the distance around the outside, and you label it in just units, so you don't have to put a squared or anything like that. It's just in units. So our first example is a rectangle has vertices. Those are corner points. A 2, 8, B 7, 8, C 7, 5, and D 2, 5. Use the coordinates to find the length of each side, then find the perimeter. So the first thing we have to do is to plot and label the points. So as you can see, I have done that here. I have A is 2, 8, so we start at 0, which is here, and then we count over 2, because that tells you how far to go left or right, so 1, 2, and then I go up 8, so I went all the way up to 8, so here's my point, and I label it A. Then I do the same thing with the remaining 3, so B is 7, 8, so I come to 7, and then up to 8, and I label it B. C is 7 and 5, that's here, and I label it, and then D is 2, 5, so here. And then I connect and make my figure. Step 2 is to find the length of each side. We do this by counting the boxes in between each point. So I'm going to start with A, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that one's 5. And 1, 2, 3. So this side's 3. And we can continue counting, or we know that opposite sides are going to be equal. So this side is 5, and this side is 3. Step 3, we add all the lengths of each side to find the perimeter. Add up all the outside to find your perimeter, so that's what we're going to do. So we have 5, which is our top, 3, 5, and 3. And we take all those numbers and we put them here. So when I add 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3, I get a total of 16. Since they don't give us a specific measurement to use, we use units, so perimeter is 16 units. Example B, still dealing with finding perimeter. Each grid square on the zoo map has a length of 200 feet. Find the total distance around the zoo. So each one of these squares on here is 200 feet, has a length. Each side is 200 feet. So as we go through, we're going to follow kind of like what we did on the last one. We're going to count the boxes from each point to find the length. So I'm just going to start at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 7. 1, 2, 3. This side is 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Step 2 is we add all those lengths together. So once again, I've taken all of the sides that we added together, or that we counted up in the last slide, and I have 7 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 3 plus 7 plus 10 to get a total of 42 units. But then the next thing, we have to go back up here to where it tells us that the length of each one is 200 feet. So I have to take that number of units, which is 42, and multiply that by 200 feet, which will give us the total distance. So then I do 42 times 200, which gives me 8,400 feet. Now the next one, we're going to be finding the area. Remember, the area is the number of square units inside a figure, and we're doing square units again. So we have this figure here, and we want to find the area. So the first thing we do is divide it into a rectangle and trapezoid. Step 2, we find the area of the rectangle, which gives us A equals B times H. So if we look at this, we can see that the base is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our height is 1, 2. So we plug that into our formula. 5 times 2 gives us 10 units squared. Then for step 3, we find the area of the trapezoid. So we use 1/2 times the height times base 1 plus base 2. So if we look at this, we find that our base 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and then our height is 1, 2. So I can take those numbers and plug them in, and we get 1/2 times 2 times 3 plus 4. 3 plus 4 gives us 7. If we take half of 2, it gives us 1, and 1 times 7 is 7 units squared. And then in step 4, we add those two together. So we take the 10 units squared plus the 7 units squared, and we get a total of 17 units squared. So that is the area of the figure. Our second example, we're doing kind of like what we did with the first one. We have 3 vertices that they give us. We're going to graph that figure, classify it, which means to name it, and then find the area of it. So step 1, we have to plot the points. So we're starting off with A, which is 2, 5. So I go into and up 5, and I label that A. And then B, we go over 2 and up 8 to give us here, and I label that B. And then C, we go over 5 and up 8 to get that point. So when I connect those, I find that we have a triangle. Step 2, we find the area. So formula is 1/2 base times height. So I have to find what our base is. 1, 2, 3. And then we have to find out our other height is. So 1, 2, 3. Remember, this triangle is turned sideways. So I plug those in, and I get 1/2 times 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. Half of 9 is 4.5 units squared. So now let's practice. We're going to use the coordinates to find the length of each side, then find the perimeter of the rectangle.